Bitch talk subliminal, but they don't talk to me. Put them in the Jersey Shore like Paulie D. Ride with the mob, voila. Check you and me, and do the job. Her is the name, the baller did the chain. Turn on for the watch, cause he plain. Ride with the mob, voila. Check you and me, and do the job. Her is the name, the baller did the chain. Turn on for the watch, cause he plain Jane. Mobbing with my click or something. Yeah. Mobbing with my click or something. Hey. Mobbing with my click or something. Yeah. Mobbing with my click or something.
Last night took an L, but tonight I bounce back. Wake up every morning, by the night I count stacks. Knew that it was real when I hit it, bounce back. Last night took an L, but tonight I bounce back. I broke his head, guess I check it, bounce back. D-time LAX, every week I bounce back. If you a real one, then you know how to bounce back. Don't know nobody, oh nobody, always on the fucking job. I got no hobbies, got the city with me cause I'm homegrown. Vibing out more than my phone. No, leave me alone, me on my own. No, I could look up like an edit. My daddy itchy is genetics. I heard you it's pathetic. The contrast will be shredded. To my dogs on the private jet for the public house, and I kept it G, yeah, 1,000 big stars studded like the Paramount money. Everything I do is right, shit. Spend on me is the right risk, even in the crisis. I'm never on some switch sides. I switch gears to the night shift, blacking out cause I'm enlightened. God talk to me in silence, but I hear him every time, man. Last night took an L, but tonight I bounce back. Wake up every morning, by the night I count stacks. Knew that I was real when I hit it, bounce back. Last night took an L, but tonight I bounce back. I've been broke as hell, catch the check and bounce back. D-time LAX, every week I bounce back. If you a real one, then you know how to bounce back. Look, I woke up in beast mode with my girl that's beauty and the beast though. Bitch, I fight these niggas sleep though. Only thing that's sold out is the C-store. God niggas stand before me and I respect my glory. If you my glory, I'ma drop down and get gory. I did everything and said worry. Hella drama, my life story. Faith of a mustard seed, I kept growing. I knew that this life was meant for me. People change, I'm more than wishing wells. Karma come around, I wish it will. Living like I'm on a limitless pill. I kill the scene like I'm dizzy. Crazy like my jacket strapped up. I don't act, but I act up. Brown paper bag like the lunch packed up. Back up. I'ma need like 10 feet. Or get stomped out with 10 feet. I'ma always lose my temper. You cannot count to 10 me. If I lose one, I bounce back like 2, 3, do a 4, 5. See courtrooms and court sides. Ain't too many, see both sides. Like what you know. I'm taking back control. The underdog just turned into the wolf. The hunger steady grows. Yeah, I call shots while you call off. Never taking some more fall off. When you stay that committed to it, you just fall down and never fall off. So last night took a L, but tonight I bounce back. Wake up every morning, by the night I count stacks. Knew that I was real when I hit it, bounce back.
Yeah.
You said before you need to
Back home smoking legal. I got more slaps than the Beatles. Point running on diesel, dog. Playing with my nigga, that's lethal, dog. Don Corleone. Trust me, at the top it isn't lonely. Everybody acting like they know me, dog.
by the rules and regulations set forth by the association to maintain and improve high standard of conduct, competition, and relations with member schools. Tonight's officials are
Got Garrett over there. Am I talking loud? Go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's matchup between the Seton Catholic Sentinels and your St. Mary's Knights. At this time, we ask that you please stand and remove your hats from the invocation and our national anthem. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for all the gifts you've given us. Help protect these young athletes from injury and harm as they compete tonight, and continually watch over them as they display their skills, wisdom, and strengths. And now the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, this evening's starting lineups. First for the visiting Seton Catholic Sentinels. A 6-foot senior, number 1, Jackson Addock. A 6'3" junior, number 3, Jake Morris. A 5'9" junior, number 5, Zach Strauss. A 6'5" junior, number 12, Charles Kyle. And a 6-foot senior, number 32, Matthias Benally. Head coach of the Sentinels is Raymond Patch. His assistant is Mickey Padilla. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the starting lineup for your St. Mary's Knights. A 6'8" senior, number 0, Fune Decore. A 6'2" sophomore, number 1, Styles Spitz. A 6'2" senior, number 5, Jacob Estrella. A 6'7" junior, number 23, Seydou Tambura. And the man in the middle, a 6'10" senior, number 35, Jeremiah Cherry. Head coach for the Knights, Damon Lopez, his assistant, Joshua Lowry.
St. Mary's basketball right here on We're Awesome Hoops YouTube Live. So glad you can join us. The final home game of the regular season for the Knights Ball Club. Getting ready for the playoffs, of course. Should have home court advantage for the first 2 rounds at least, hopefully a third. And the Knights going against Seton Catholic, win the overall tip. And alongside Chris Ferrendorf, I am Alex Coyle, coming off another 100-plus point performance last night. Could we expect another one here today?
Well, it's possible. This Seton Catholic team, they haven't had the best season. Just 1-12 overall, 0-5 in region. So it's definitely a possibility for this Knights team to put up some big numbers offensively again tonight.
Seydou Tambora, Fune Dakure, and Jeremiah Cherry all starting today. So the big men get things going early, and a turnover for Seton Catholic on their first possession. And do have to let everybody know there will be no Garrison Phelps tonight. But everybody else out there and ready to roll here today. And to Cherry, and he slams it down. All 3 big men getting involved. Dakure and Cherry with the first 4 points of the game.
Well, a pretty quick head top there to start out this game. And you've seen it on these first 2 possessions. St. Mary's has got to utilize the height. Fune Dakure and Jeremiah Cherry making their marks known early.
Charles Heil attempted a 3 in the corner. That one's no good. Styles Phipps dribbles himself into the corner. Good crossover. Floater. That one's pure from the baseline. 6-0 quickly to start. Just 1 minute into this one for St. Mary's.
But yeah, Alex, you mentioned Garrison Phelps. He's a scratch for tonight's game. You might have to look for Seydou Tambora to pick up some of what Garrison does on defense, and you know, some of his high-flying dunks, Seydou can definitely translate there.
Heil misses a baseline jumper. That's no good. A little floater. Tambora, a little touch pass, I should say, and he blew the layup. Minute and a half into this one, and a foul on Styles Phipps is perusing up the floor with Zach Strauss, a 5'9" junior.
First team foul, non-shooting foul.
St. Mary's will have 2 more games after this one in the regular season left, both of them away at Greenway and at Moon Valley. Finish things up later tomorrow night and Monday night.
Yeah, obviously the last 3 games of the schedule, last 4 games aren't against the toughest competition in the state, but you still have to win those games, especially with seeding on the line. St. Mary's cannot just go into these region games or versus Seton Catholic and just expect to win. They've got to get it done.
Nice right-handed scoop layup from the left side for Styles. On the other end, it was Zach Strauss that missed another shot. 8-0. Seton still has yet to score the first 2 minutes in this game. St. Mary's using that full court press. Didn't see too much of that yesterday, although much of the game was played in transition. As putting one up and falling down to the floor is Jake Morris, the 6'3" junior. He'll shoot 2 from the free throw line. 5:35 to go first quarter.
I received a little bit of some background information on this Seton Catholic team. I know one of the players' dads, and he was telling me that they've struggled offensively, Alex. That's been the main deal, is they've got a couple of guys who are real shooters, like Jackson Adelhawk. I've seen a couple of his highlights, and he can shoot from deep beyond the arc, but besides that, it's pretty inconsistent, I guess, from this Seton Catholic team. Something to keep your eye on tonight.
We haven't seen Adlock touch the ball yet offensively, at least in a position where he can get a shot up, and getting a shot up is Styles, just a bit long. And a reach for the rebound goes into the hands of Morris. Seton will bring it up the floor now. Just 1 point, still 0 from the floor. Styles allows the drive-by, an attempted 3, no good. And a foul on the rebound. We'll head the other way. That goes on Jake Morris. Each team now has registered a foul. St. Mary's with 2 of them so far in this first half. Tambora on that left wing, going to be playing that 3-guard position. Estrella for 3. Rattles in and out. Tap back out by Dakure. Kept alive. In back to him from Tambora. In for the layup through contact. No. Getting the rebound and drawing the foul is big number 35, Jeremiah Cherry. He'll get 2 free throws.
On that first inbounds pass from Seydou Tambora to Fune Decore, Decore put the ball down with a really quick dribble, power dribble. But unfortunately, that's something we've seen from the St. Mary's bigs throughout this season, and they have not had effective. It has not been effective. The one power dribble, as that allows guards to come in and snatch it away. You have to bring it back up yet again after a rebound or an entry pass, and it just doesn't seem to work too often.
Free throw good for Cherry, the second of 2. It's the front end, back to that full court pressure, but you do have to like that Fune's starting yet again. Back-to-back games, maybe get a more consistent run, try to get his legs back under him. It's been a project all season to get him back to full shape. And really for a playoff run, a player like him, some more depth at a bigger position will definitely help you come semifinal and final time. He drives. How about that move, the reverse layup? A little bit of explosiveness from number 0.
Well, that looked like Fune Decore from last
Yes,
year,
it
Alex.
did.
That was a move that he really patented.
Now Cherry, foul was on the floor. Styles Phipps grabs some rim after the whistle, but the foul called as Cherry was going for the drive. Foul against Matthias Spinelli, the 6-foot senior who has the tough task of guarding Cherry tonight.
Well, and with a 3-big look here, Seydou Tambora, Jeremiah Cherry, and Fune Decore, that is, they can get a lot of offensive rebounds if the other players or guards in particular miss. We've seen Fune Decore, he's been really active so far, and with 3 bigs, that's just what's going to happen.
Seydou doing some passing cross-court look. Styles for 3. He got fouled by Adlock. He'll get 3 free throws. But that's just good court vision. Seydou tossed it into the big, came back out to him. Defense sucked that way, and he made a perfect pass to the corner.
Well, Seydou Tambora, he says his favorite player is LeBron James. I would say, Alex, that was some LeBron James-type court vision from seeing Styles Phipps cross-court in the corner.
That's enough for praise of LeBron James tonight. Prefer to talk about Michael Jordan the rest of this broadcast, the best player ever to wear the jersey number 23.
Unfortunately, he's not Seydou's favorite player, though.
True. And yes, that is very unfortunate. Free throws fall. 14-1. Trying to break that press. They get it across. Scoreboard in the gymnasium still says 13-1. Now it tipped out of bounds.
Still seat ball.
Well, Styles Phipps, he went 2 of 3 from the line there.
Gave him too much of the benefit of the doubt on our scoreboard,
It
so it is
happens.
13-1. Seton inbound, tipped by Estrella. He's the guy that'll start things defensively. He scored 8 points last night. Driving baseline. Never looked to put up the shot, but out to Hadlock for 3. That one just short. And Akure grabs the rebound. Estrella looks to push on the outlet. 3:33 left, first quarter. Crossover dribble against Adlock. Seydou. Into Cherry. Absolutely hung on like a tree. And he'll go to the line for 2 more. Seems to be the game plan there. If it gets into Cherry and he tries to make a move, foul him before he can get anything up.
Well, that's probably a smart game plan if you're Raymond Patch, the Seton head coach. If they get it into the big man, like you said, Alex, you might as well just see how many fouls you can get away with. Because if he gets the ball up high and clean, he's probably going to finish.
Cherry makes both free throws. Seton still yet to make a basket from the floor, 15-1. They're 1 for 2 from the free throw line and have committed 5 fouls defensively. Into the corner, Adlock drives baseline, back out to the top for a 3. That one back iron, no. Jake Morris can't hit. The rebound to Zach Strauss. He'll chuck up a 3, nothing but net. First field goal made for the Sentinels, and it's 15-4. Into the lane, Cherry. Bully ball gets fouled again, and he'll head to the line for 2 more free throws. Fouls piling up, 6 total in the quarter. Still 3 minutes left.
And Jake Morris is putting his hands up like, we are straight up I don't think a single Sentinels defender was straight up there, and if you're going to foul him every play, then you have to expect the whistle to be blown.
Free throw practice.
Yeah, well, you got to make
So
him earn
what
it.
is the
That's
cover?
true.
Yeah. Couple of substitutions for the Sentinels. Luke Padilla checks in for the first time today, the 5'8 sophomore. But looking up and down this Sentinels roster, it's not a very tall one. Nobody listed above 6'1". Still trying to get that across half court. They're running up against a 10-second violation. Barely do get it across to Padilla. 2:45, 12-point game. Asking for a screen, but waving it off. Little isolation ball up top here. Now Adlock, hounded by Estrella. He knows that he'll pull from anywhere, guarding him all the way out to the volleyball lines. Koure guarding a guard. Now in the post. Good ball movement from Seton, and that one's going to rattle through. They call that one a 3, so the only baskets made so far for Seton are a pair of 3s, and it's a 9-point game. Estrella trying to get it into the post. Tambora back to Estrella. Thought about a 3. Into Cherry. No foul this time, and it falls through. Jeremiah has been the man today. Another basket for him. This time doesn't come from the free throw line. Gets a steal, tips it off the referee, and it'll be Seton ball. Koure checks out. That's the longest run he's had all season. 6 minutes and 5 seconds. Good to see him play a long period of time. And now Kenny White checks in and will head that pressure.
Well, and DeCoury, he looked good doing it too.
He did.
In extended minutes these past 2 games, he really has not shown, that he's looked tired on the floor like he has in the past.
Zach Strauss tried to fire one in. It's tipped by a couple of St. Mary's Knights and goes out of bounds. St. Mary's, the 2 seed currently. New rankings came out again at noon today. Biggest news around 4A basketball, Deer Valley lost again last night. So they are down to the 4 seed, and Peoria has moved up to the 3 seed and 2 points behind St. Mary's. And the Knights, there's a corner 3 from Adlock, he can't hit. Knights 0.2 points behind the number 1 seed. South Point Catholic out of Tucson, and a turnover from Kenny White on the offensive end. Brought up the floor by Zach Strauss. Corner Adlock wide open for 3. Give him enough chances, he's bound to hit 1. It's an 8-point game. Jerry runs the floor well. Spin move into the lane, little touch, and it's good.
Man,
Nice quick move from
he's
him.
having such a good game. He looks decisive with his post moves as well, which is what you like to see if you're head coach Damon Lopez.
Now looks like DeCoury going to check in again along with P.J. Lewis at the next whistle. And stepping out of bounds will bring them in. Zach Strauss turned it over. DeCoury comes in for Tambora. Lewis for Estrella.
The Knights were lucky there because Jackson Adlock, he would have hit that 3 after the whistle was already blown. It was pure swish, Alex, and like we mentioned, he is their main scorer and main shooter.
He'll also take a seat for the men in red. 3 for Lewis, a little bit long. He's been hitting those his last few appearances in varsity action. Now Luke Padilla gets trapped. That's a dangerous spot on the floor. And a timeout smartly called by Raymond Patchy II, the head coach of Seton Catholic. And hasn't been a terrible showing from Seton so far. They've hit a couple of 3s. In fact, their only shots they've made have been from 3. They're only down 10 so far.
Well, that's kind of been a common reoccurrence against some of these recent teams such as Tempe or Moon Valley, Shadow Mountain. Early on, these teams come in and make 3-pointers early, and it seems like it might be closer than it is. In the second and third quarter, St. Mary's have put these games away before, and that's just because the 3-point shooting isn't going to be this consistent for 4 quarters.
Especially that starting with the big guard lineup, there's against a team that only has 1 player above 6 foot, registered at 6'1". not going to get a lot of action in the paint. Now with St. Mary's in a much shorter lineup, we'll see if that changes anything. Still with a height advantage, though, for the Knights by far. Floater from the free throw line way short, tipped out by Doucouré. That's one of the things he does well, tips it out to a teammate in Tambora. Now 11 seconds left. Lewis shuffled his feet, almost walked. Styles Phipps for three, a little bit long. Fight for the rebound. Doucouré a tip, keeps it alive. 2 seconds, got to go up with the basketball. Styles a floater. Do they count it? They wave it off. Does not count, just a hair late. Coach Lopez didn't like that too much, but after quarter one, it's a 10-point lead. Knights showed some ups and downs offensively there, but when it was going well, it was getting into Jeremiah Cherry.
Well, and without Garrison Phelps, that's obviously going to hurt this St. Mary's team. He really helps in transition, and he helps getting in the passing lanes, getting deflections and steals, and pushing the ball as well for this St. Mary's squad. So without him, really energize the gym and get some easy fast break dunks going, you really have to rely on Jeremiah Cherry and Styles Phipps to pick up the offensive slack.
And as we take a little bit of a break here at the quarter, I want to thank our sponsors, Cunningham Aviation, V's Barbershop, and the Arizona Leadership Foundation, who's making this all possible, allowing us to get the game to you for free. Chris, another word from them.
Cunningham Aviation, they're a proud sponsor of the St. Mary's Knights program. They do aircraft auctions, hangar leasing, fuel services, etc. And you can see what Cunningham Aviation has to offer if you go out to Falcon Field Airport in Mesa. Go Knights and go Class of 94. And thank you, Cunningham Aviation, for sponsoring this Knights program.
So Seton out of the break. We'll start this second quarter inbounding the basketball, working against Kenny White's pressure is Zach Strauss. Almost getting a 10-second call, right at the 7:50 mark gets it across. Driving, almost tripped up by P.J. Lewis. No call, no travel either. Down to the corner, it is Strauss, and maybe a hand check called on Kenny White. It's just the third foul on St. Mary's. Seton has 6, so the Knights will be shooting free throws on everything but offensive fouls. The rest of this second quarter. Into the corner, a look for three. Just a bit long, hits the rim again, but Doucouré's length snatches that board. Styles behind the back, finishes between three Sentinels. The follow from Doucouré, no good. Tambora behind him, little miscommunication. Back out to Styles. Elbow jumper's good. The length of Fune Doucouré just keeps things alive so well. And whenever he finds that stride back in rhythm of the game of basketball, it's going to be a huge difference maker for a team that's already pretty much unbeatable in AIA competition. Tipped into the lane. Doucouré is trying to rip it away, and they're going to call a jump ball. With 6 minutes and 57 seconds left in this half. Tambora, a lot of work for him around the perimeter, playing 3 guard, now playing 4 with this lineup. A 3 from Kenny White, nothing but net. Good to see him hit that one. 15-point game. Seton yet to score in this quarter. Yet to score from inside the 3-point line tonight.
I was going to mention Seton's 3-2 zone has actually been pretty effective so far, at least in terms of forcing St. Mary's to take outside shots. That's what you want to do, is force this team to make 3-pointers, but unfortunately for the Sentinels, the offensive rebounding has really been in the Knights' favor.
Trap way out from the basket. Nice job by Doucouré to get out there and stop potential drive. Gets around him eventually. Can't hit the layup. Styles finishes. Hits the rim, but gets his own miss and a good finish. He just stays with the play. It's never over for him. Showing it there. 17-point game now. Yesterday, Styles had an historic night. With senior night, he's just a sophomore, but set a program record for assists with 19. And a whistle has been blown. Delay a game warning, I believe, but the first 2-point basket has been made by Seton. Cherry checks back in. AJ Mondumbo, who had a couple highlights last night, he'll check in at the next whistle. Styles working on Adlock. Good pass to Cherry. How'd that get through? Either way, it's a slam. 2 more for Jeremiah. He's had a huge game. Rested most of the first part of the second quarter. Got some cotton in that nose. Maybe some bleeding there. He's been playing a very physical game today. It's worked out. Seton has really slowed things down offensively. Nothing inside that lane so far in this possession. Adlock guarded by Lewis. Styles, good job of guarding with his body and using the hands to tip the basketball. Now just going to chuck up a 3. That one bricked and rebounded by Kenny White. He'll run in transition. Finds Cherry, good crossover dribble, no. Tipped out of bounds. We'll stay here with St. Mary's. 4 minutes, 23 seconds to go in this first half.
I know we've already talked about it, but Jeremiah Cherry just, when he catches the ball so far in tonight's game, he's really, it's almost like he's made up his mind with what move he's going to make.
He tried to lob for Styles on the inbound. Couldn't get it to go. The inbound pass is from Kenny White. And Styles commits his second foul as Adlock crossed half court.
Well, it seems like this night's team has really keyed in on Jackson Adlock, almost as if they know that he is the Sentinels' main scorer and three-point threat. They've pretty much sent a guy to guard him, face guard him throughout the entirety of the first 2 quarters.
Noah Udave, he's on the right wing. First action for him with the basketball, and he turns it over.
Nice ball. Jacob Straya returns to the nice lineup.
Of course, this one taking place, Chris, at 7:30 because the girls' team had a very entertaining and the crowd was very energetic in the game against Notre Dame Prep. Knights held a lead of as many as 7 in the first half, and a ferocious slam by Cherry and the foul. Physical day for him continues. St. Mary's in the girls' game led by as many as 7 in the first half. Lost by, final score was by 7, I believe, if I do have that correct. But a good fight from them against a top 10 team in 4A. But it was a really good showing fan-wise from Notre Dame Prep, huh, Chris?
It was. I thought there was an earthquake when I first walked into the gym. A lot of feet stomping, that's for sure.
Seton gets it across. But immediately met by what seemed to be a trap up there, but it gets through. Adlock had a look at 3, but instead he'll drive through and rework that offense. 3:20 left to go in this second quarter. Knights lead by 19. Seton done a nice job of holding the basketball and trying to work some offense. Adlock puts up a 3, and he can hit. 16-point game. Keeping him a little close. Styles behind the back. Hit on the way up, lost the basketball. And now a jump ball. We'll give it to Seton. Get some more substitutions for the Sentinels.
And Adlock, he's just got such a quick release, too. On that last shot particularly, he showed off. When he's got any sort of space, he's going to be pulling from beyond the arc.
Adlock, the 6-foot senior. Sentinels trying to work it up the floor. They've been close to a couple of 10-second violations, but they get it across again with Strauss. 2:40 and counting. Putting up a three. No good from Piper. Styles. Behind the back pass. Tambura. Jump stop. Missed the layup with the left hand. It's a little bit out of control there. Sentinels decide to run now. Strauss with the basketball. Pulls up from the Mini Knight logo, and he can't hit. Way short. Estrella can't catch the home run pass. Game's starting to get a little sloppy and more back and forth. Adlock drives baseline, kicks to the corner for a three. Piper short. Correction, that was Udave. Now back to Adlock. That can't rattle home. Another offensive rebound tipped out of bounds off Seton. St. Mary's ball.
It's surprising to see Seton have so much success on the offensive boards, but that's what's going to happen when Fune Decore is checking out the ball game. And now with Seydu sitting down, they'll really need to have their guards pick up the slack on the rebounding on both ends of the floor.
Just the one big, that's Jeremiah Cherry in the game. Ondumba, free throw line jumper. He hits that one. We mentioned last night the athleticism for him, just trying to refine those skills in that touch. Hit a jumper last night, hit a three last night. He had 9 points and hits a free throw line jumper there. Knights lead by 18, minute and a half before the half. And quite a few steps there on the travel, another turnover.
Well, that's what happens, or what can happen, when you see a 6'10", however many pounds Jeremiah Cherry. He's a big dude running at you. I would maybe get a little bit nervous too.
Heard the footsteps. Estrella got pushed to the elbow, but he hits the shot anyway. Knights by 20, their largest lead. Minute and 4 seconds left in half number one. Knights with 4 fouls, Sentinels with 7. Adlock into the corner, a couple of Sentinels there. Back out to Benali. Drives, chucked out. How'd that stay in bounds? I thought it was destined for the green stripe, but Knights get it in transition and the foul's called. They'll get some 1-and-1. I believe that'll be Estrella shooting.
Well, with just 44 seconds left, you're going to want to stay tuned at halftime, because once again, we're going to have our brand new sideline reporter, Lindsay Zainty. She will have an interview with Coach Damon Lopez once again.
Of course, we hope the technical difficulties we had last night won't be an issue. As Estrella gets his own miss, tries to fire another one up, but another slam by Cherry. He's got to have 15 plus already. As the Sentinels progress up the floor. Ondumba. Estrella gets fouled. More free throws for him.
Correction. Sideline reporter Lindsay Zinti will be conducting the halftime interview with Coach Damon Lopez, so stay tuned for that.
Attaboy, Chris. Way to be transparent.
I'm pretty
and
sure,
issue a correction.
I'm pretty sure yesterday she even pronounced her last name Zainty, so that's just what I was going with.
First free throw is no good. Should say that was the second, but followed by Styles Phipps. Struggling from the line right now is Estrella. Missed 3 in a row. Clock started for that inbound. It's 5 seconds to go to get up a shot. St. Mary's trying to get the ball, and they're going to call a 10-second violation before a jump ball. He seemed to be just kind of waiting for the clock to run out. 0.2 seconds left on this clock. I haven't really seen anything like that one, Chris, but you got to throw a lob here. They'll throw it to Cherry, and that one swatted down by Charles Heil, but as we'll set up the interview down there with Coach Lopez. St. Mary's, very good first half, 39-15. They lead by 24. Much of the
You have to connect it right now.
Much of the action really was inside.
It doesn't connect from down there.
Correction will have the Spirit Squad performance and then an interview out of the half.
The St. Mary's Varsity Spirit Line, big round of applause.
St. Mary's basketball currently holds a big lead over Seton Catholic. We'll send it down to our sideline reporter, Lindsay Zinti, with Coach Lopez on their first half.
Solid first half, but are there any adjustments your guys need to make going into the second half?
Well, I think we got to be better contesting shots. We did a pretty poor job of kind of moving guys open. I thought we did a better job last night of contesting shots. And I told our guys at half, like, that's part of our emphasis this half, is to make sure we can kind of get up and get a hand up and people facing and shoot the ball. The other area we want to try to speed them up in the half court. So they come down, they do a nice job of running their offense, and so I think trying to speed them up a little bit is kind of something we're going to try to do with that.
Yeah, and with Phelps being out tonight, is there an effort to get Terry more involved offensively?
I think naturally for us, it's the next man up. Everybody says that when they have players that go down. So, for us, we're just trying to mesh and give other guys opportunities. And I think Bear's done a nice job. The emphasis for Bear all year has been able to get him to run the floor hard and then to be able to turn and post up quickly. So he's doing a better job of that, and he needs to continue that progress to have that success.
Okay, Coach, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Back to you, Alex.
Thank you, Coach, and thank you, Lindsay. We'll take a 2-minute break before half number 2. Knights 39, Sentinels 15 on We Are SM Hoops YouTube Live.
I just spoke with Coach Lopez, and he was expressing how the guys and the whole team is really about next man up. And you can feel that here. You can feel whenever the guys come off the bench and the other guys sit down, the energy is still there throughout the whole team. So we're really looking forward to how the guys play coming into the second half. Welcome back.
Well, thank you to Lindsay for that halftime coverage, and thank you to cameraman Chris over here sitting to my left. Just thoughts from you on that first half. We usually hear thoughts from you. Now we've upgraded to Coach Lopez. Now you finally have your time to shine, Chris.
Yeah, well, I mean, a really solid second quarter, I thought, from this St. Mary's squad, specifically on defense. They were forcing the Sentinels to really chuck up bad threes in that second quarter, and I think that's what really did it on defense. On the other end, on offense, it was just Styles Phipps pushing and doing a better job of getting his big men the ball in transition.
Yeah, and they're going to start with the same starting five that they had earlier in this game, that three big lineup. It's really good to see that. My biggest aspect from today, win, lose, whatever the score is going to be, is getting Fune Dekure some lengthy time to get him back in the rhythm of things. He's played a lot today, and he looks good out there. Start this second half. Knights have already scored a couple of baskets. Most recent one from Seton Catholic. Forces a turnover. Styles into the lane. Tried to slam it home. A little layup after he got bumped, but the board to Seton. Easy finish with the right hand.
Well, obviously, with 2 games left after this on the road, you'd like to see Fune Dekure get some action in those as well, because, like you mentioned, with playoffs coming up just in a couple of weeks, on February 15th will be the first round of the playoffs. You would like to see him be able to survive multiple minutes on the floor, Fune Dekure that is, and just be able to play defense at a consistently hard level. That's what's been the biggest issue, I think.
And on that back end, he commits a foul and 1. Charles Heil hits the free throw. So continue play here in this second half. Knights with another big lead. Into Cherry again. He's got that baseline spin open, gets there, one-handed slam. The physicality from big number 35. Probably, would you say this is his most physical game with the exception of what we saw in Georgia?
Oh, for sure. He just looks angry out there. Like
That's
on a
a
couple
great way
of
to
these
put it,
dunks,
yeah.
He just looks like he's throwing them down so hard. Like he's got something against this Seton team.
And 2 guys sprint back on offense for Seton, wide open. Usually you see St. Mary's do something like that, but the Sentinels turn over Styles Phipps and look to run. Trail by 27, good pass, good finish, but they call the foul. He didn't finish. Styles Phipps got him on the arm, and that'll send Heil to the free throw line, a 6'5 junior, the only one listed above 6'1".
Well, he's done a good job of running the floor, too, to start this second half. It's really been Heil that's been open down the court for this Sentinels team. And then he has been relying on these smaller guards such as Zach Strauss or Jake Morris to find him the ball in transition.
Heil's next free throw, no good. Rebound goes to Cherry, and Estrella will bring it up the floor. Styles trying to force a pass in, another turnover. He's struggled to start this half. A nice defense from Jacob Estrella, but part of that halftime we got to visit very briefly with Suns analyst and fill-in play-by-play broadcaster Tom Leander. Kind of talk about the Suns here. I'm going to try to thread the needle with something here. Win streaks with the team fighting for the number 1 seed in their conference, the Suns. St. Mary's doing a similar thing here. Can you maybe say Bismack Biyombo and Fune Dekure are similar additions during the stretch run?
I think, I do think that is a fair comparison, especially because they both weren't really with the team. They weren't traveling. Fune Dekure, he missed that tournament in Las Vegas before the season started. He missed the Section 7 tournament as well in Arizona, so he missed some big-time games. But once you've got him added and once you've got him going, just like Bismack, it's just such a tough addition, especially on the inside.
Especially when you can add, in the Bismack case, to 2 bigs like JaVale McGee and like DeAndre Ayton, as Tambora slams one, wanted a foul, he missed. But in this case, Fune will be added once he gets back in the full swing of things to Jeremiah Cherry and Seydou Tambora with that size. Styles Phipps playing the point guard, similar to Chris Paul. Maybe a little more scoring output from him than Chris Paul would have. But the assist last night, 19, setting a program record for St. Mary's basketball, which has a very rich history, of course, for 19 in the game against Tempe.
Well, and 20 points to go with it, too. In the comparison to Chris Paul, he can really score whenever he wants, but the main thing for him is passing, and when Styles Phipps wants to get his teammates involved, he is amazing at doing so.
I'm out of things to say when he does that.
It's like he has eyes in the back of his head, Alex, on some of these passes. when he drives and then finds a big man, it's unbelievable.
Still has been a strong start to the half for Seton. 23 points, trailed by 28. Turnstiles Phipps over a couple of times. Getting into their offense. Still nothing really in the lane. It's been mostly jump shots and just pulling from deep. Adlock couldn't hit, and now Cherry, look out.
If you're going to shoot from that deep and expect the ball to come flying off the rim, that's when a St. Mary's big like Jeremiah Cherry is programmed
To run the floor.
to run the floor. That's what Coach Lopez, he actually touched in on that with Lindsay at halftime. He said, Jeremiah Cherry this year, we've wanted to get him out in transition more and get him those early post-up looks. It's not necessarily about Garrison not being here, but that's just something they've wanted to do all season.
Now they try to throw a home run pass from the sideline. A little awkward inbound there and easily read by Estrella. Wide open three on the wing. Styles won't miss that one. 56-23. And they're going to get a timeout from Seton. Good stretch after maybe a sloppy 1 minute to start the third, but Styles really bounced back nicely. Couple good dishes in that three. Good time for an ad read.
V's Barbershop, they're the ones who do the halftime performance, the halftime shot for a free haircut. They're the undisputed leader in men's barbershops and straight edge shaves with 14 Valley locations. For the finest in men's grooming services and products, visit V's Barbershop. And for more information, visit vbarbershop.com or find the V's app available for download. V's Barbershop, it's a night or a guy thing.
Might have to head over to V's here in a couple days. Hair's getting a little bit long on my end.
Oh.
On my end, I'm saying. I wasn't going to make any comments to you, but now that you brought it up, I guess we can go together, huh?
It's true, we could. But that third...
Maybe we got to grab a couple of those coupons Coach has over there.
We might have to look into doing so, Alex. I hear they're hidden somewhere.
Not so secret, but yes.
But
And it's a night or a guy thing, and real men go to barbershops.
real men do go to barbershops, it's true. So in that category, I would probably be considered like a half man to an extent, considering I go to barbershops once every 2 or 3 months. So we'll see how that goes. But Alex, to survive that third quarter, there was a stretch there where Seton scored probably about 10 8,
Yeah.
6, 8, 10, whatever it was, unanswered points off of fast breaks, and then St. Mary's really got it together and focused in on getting back on defense.
Really awkward possession there for Seton. The man with the basketball, Morris, had his back turned to the basket and had a wide open lane, finally turned around and drove it through. Still just under 3 minutes left here in this third quarter. Cherry has his man sealed, I should say. Instead, it's a three, and it's going to be barreled home by Jacob Estrella. 59-25. Morris kicks one out. Wayward pass, corralled by Padilla. He'll try a floater. That'll hit the rim. Looked like he was going to miss everything. Cherry thought so as well. Now instead, diving for the basketball, stolen away by Takure. Finds a big in Cherry. Uh-oh, here we go. Spin around. They're going to call a foul. I thought Cherry might have a chance to get a free runway there. Instead, playing ping pong with the basketball with Styles. Phipps. Styles went in the air and drew a foul. It's just the second foul on the Sentinels in the half. 2:18 to go, third quarter.
If Cherry could have caught that ball maybe just one step earlier, I think he would have had the power and the energy to go up and try to slam that home, because we've seen him dunk over smaller defenders like some of these Seton guards before.
Corner three. It's not the touch that Styles would like. Now Adlock works in transition. Seton has been outrunning St. Mary's on the offensive end so far in this half. And now Seton going to get 4 guys ready to check in, and another deep three from Adlock, and he bottoms it home. Rattled through, hit everything on the rim a couple times, and fell through. Last time that ended in a Cherry slam. Now match for match, tic-tac-toe go the guards. Styles Phipps his turn along 3.
And Styles, he usually likes to not take those threes right at the beginning of a possession, but if Adlock's going to hit a 3, then he'll match it, that's for sure.
Whatever you can do, I can do better. There are some high-level scouts in attendance today. Oh, good pass. Just couldn't get finished by Tambora. Comes down, gets the miss, but gets fouled.
You got to finish those, Alex, especially when you've got guys here, for highlights, for recruits, people watching online. Such a beautiful pass from Styles Phipps.
And he's strong enough to take two hands up and just
Slam
puncture
that
it
thing.
through. Yeah. Instead, he'll get a couple of chances to work on some free throws. Hit front of the rim. Curls over.
And this will be interesting here, subbing 4 in for the Sentinels here. That would be head coach Raymond Patchy. This Seton team, to start this third quarter, they were playing pretty good. They were getting up and down the court, like you mentioned, beating St. Mary's on a lot of these fast breaks for easy points. And with 4 guys out, minute 20 left, it'll be interesting to see how this bench unit does.
Straya gets the miss, dribbles to his right, and an off-balance jumper falls through for 2. 65-30, Knights by 35. 5 points away from a running clock in the fourth quarter. Kenny White gets the steal, was also tipped by Tambora. Trying to get it to Estrella. Diving for the basketball, out of bounds, off Estrella. It'll be Sentinels' ball. In comes Mondumba. Just across is Strauss. Styles saves it. Strauss gets it in the backcourt. 42 seconds and counting. Drives past Styles, picked up by Kenny White. He's on the left wing now. 35 left in the third quarter. Corner 3, it's open. A little awkward on the form there, but a couple of offensive rebounds, and that's something that can't happen when you got big guys in the game. Ended up being put home by Strauss. Oh, Cherry! I look down at my sheet, look up, and he's flying through the sky. My goodness. 10 seconds left in the quarter.
You might get another
chance
one here.
to run out. 6 seconds. Jerry puts it on the floor, goes up, controls himself, and another lay-in, 69-32, and that's how quarter number 3 ends.
Just these past couple of weeks, Jeremiah Cherry offensively has been nothing short of amazing, Alex, and whether it's a fast break or a post-up move, he's just everything. It seems like when he touches the ball, it goes through the hoop. Even yesterday with his passing skills, like you mentioned, able to get it to Styles Phipps when he is triple-teamed or find a guard open along the perimeter. It's been amazing what he's done throughout this season.
There hasn't been a thing that we've found offensively in his game that has gotten worse or regressed or even stayed the same. He hit a 3 at Milton that It didn't look like, it wasn't a lucky 3. It didn't bank in. It was good form all the way, looked good all the way. Passing ability, free throws. He had a tough stretch a little bit towards the middle of the season, but has gotten much better. Was tremendous to start the year in that category. And now he's just being physical and has the mindset that nobody's going to stop him.
Well, especially in the 4A conference, there aren't guys built like Jeremiah Cherry. Even Fune DeCourier, Seydou Tambora, it's tough when you're going up against guys 6'7", 6'8", 6'10". How are you going to guard all of that size? It's nearly impossible.
Kenny White catches the inbounds pass. A couple of reserves check in. There's a 3 on the right wing. Cherry gets the rebound and another slam. Why not, Jeremiah? A.J. Mondumba in, P.J. Lewis in. Mondumba tried to block that shot, but the layup fell before he could get up there. Back and forth to start this quarter. Trying to swing that basketball. Mondumba wide open down there, and he's fouled on the way up. That's some of the finesse that he needs to find, the body control when he leaves his feet near the hoop.
And he'll get that in these next 3 years here at St. Mary's. That's one of the main things that multiple freshmen need to work on when they enter high school is that touch, especially when you are fouled. It's tough for freshmen to know how to fight through contact and finish through it as well.
DeCourier checks in. Jeremiah Cherry checks out for what could be the final time tonight. And now, look who's coming in, Chris.
Wow.
Julian Morales, first time this season that he's been active. And he'll check in for Styles Phipps. Good to see him get some PT.
Now this is surprising because
I didn't know he was active today. He was in his sweats until I think the second half.
Yeah, he has yet to check into a single game throughout this entire season. And honestly, Alex, I'm not sure what he brings to the table.
Neither of us have ever seen him play. He is a junior. Drive, scoop layup, offensive rebound, came up, came down, and they call a foul. And now a technical foul that's going to go against Charles Heil, but the original foul has not been called yet. Not sure if it was going to be on the ground or on the way up. Clock continues to run. The Knights lead by 39.
Well, unfortunately for Heil, he looked at the wrong ref because one of the refs called a foul, and I think he was looking at the one closest to him, asking why he wasn't the one blowing his whistle.
St. Mary's fouls on number 20, A.J. Muandumba.
And they call the foul on A.J. Muandumba. We'll reset the clock here. It's about a minute off on our graphic. But Heil will shoot the free throws, and he is credited for a technical foul. So the Knights will get free throws on the other end. Just getting a talking to from the referee that issued the technical foul, maybe explaining some things. And the first of the technical free throws, again with the clock rolling. He hits the first of two as a shooting foul. And this is a non-region game, but it's still very important for seeding purposes for St. Mary's. Again, 0.2 points behind Seton Catholic. Seton has a stretch of 4 games in 4 days that'll end tomorrow against Buena, correct? The number 1 team in 5A.
South Point.
South Point against Buena, yes.
Correct, yeah. That's a tough stretch that South Point's going through as Julian Morales, he's looking to score his first points of the season here.
First varsity action, first varsity point. Doesn't matter how it comes, technical free throw or nothing but net. Guess he's a shooter. We'll call him a shooter. Got good form. Into the corner. B.J. Lewis. Morales. Will he pull the trigger? Good touch on the pass. Kenny White trying to get it into Decoure. He does. 3-second violation.
A good seal by Decoure, but yeah, he was in the paint for a while there, and we're going to see Aaron Estrada and Izzy Nunez checking the game as well.
Everybody knows what we need from Izzy.
We need a 3, and he knows it too.
He does too.
That's why he took one from about 4 feet behind the line.
He pulled an Adlock 3. Difference is he couldn't hit. Another chance, a new day for him to try here. Adlock, good move there. The Knights get the rebound on the miss. Lead by 39. Izzy Nunez with the basketball. Couple of screens, passes it off to Muandumba. Mid-range jumper off the backboard, no good. And now Seton getting ready to check 5 in, 5 out. How long 3? That one's pure. Strauss.
He's been on today from beyond the arc. He hit the first 2 threes for Seton Catholic in the first quarter, but he's been kind of quiet since.
Good ball movement. Izzy Nunez. B.J. Lewis. Pure!
Lewis for 3.
He's been as on can get when he's playing.
Yeah, especially with the bench unit too. He's provided a spark offensively for a squad that hasn't been too effective scoring the ball this season. The bench unit doesn't really have one guy that can take over an offense, and so when P.J. Lewis is knocking down threes, that gives them a nice added bonus.
Out of the substitution timeout, Seton will use it a little bit to draw some things up and talk things over. It's a 38-point game, Knights 77, Sentinels 39. 2 minutes, 33 seconds left. The final home game of the regular season from Bull Gymnasium, but hopefully we got 3 more home games to come.
Yeah, we'll definitely get one to start. That's for sure. For the 4A state 4A state playoffs, excuse me. Stay tuned to the We Are SM Hoops Twitter and Instagram for when exactly that game is. And if you can make it in person, I would advise to do so.
Game day atmosphere that a couple years back nominated for best in the country. So the student section will be out in full force, no matter the opponent for that one. Sentinels work the basketball, work the offense. Udave into the lane, fakes a pass, gets his own miss as it's tipped, but Mundumba gets the steal. Passes out, Morales for 3. Bang! All net, Julian Morales. He don't miss.
That was pure.
1 for 1 on his career. Now a deep 3 on the other end. Pure. Luke Padilla. Now Izzy Nunez, the man with the basketball. Asks for some isolation. Gets fouled. Clock will continue to run.
That was number 11, Luke Padilla, his first at the line. 2 shots.
Izzy Nunez trying to score points in front of the home crowd. Hasn't scored since a couple of games ago, a month and a half ago, I should say, at the Suns Arena. Hits the free throw.
Versus Thunderbird.
In a region game. Hits them both. 1 minute to go.
It's always nice to see the bench unit score, and it's even nicer and better to see when the starters are really getting behind them and providing some energy off the bench as well.
It's something that Lindsay asked the guys, the seniors last night. Bear had a very good answer to that. He was once in that situation where he was a younger guy trying to learn about the program here and the kind of culture that is set from St. Mary's. Everybody roots on everybody. No matter what playing time you get, it's a team basketball game. It's the reason why the program's so successful. That was just the 4th foul against St. Mary's on the half. So no free throws there. Nunez trying to play defense and get the basketball back.
Well, back when my brother Andrew Ferendorf was on the team, they had something called BBT, Bench Boys Takeover, Alex. And once anyone came in from the bench, could be the 6th man, could be the 12th man, you could guarantee that bench was going crazy.
Stolen away by Estrada. Mundumba soaring through. Ooh, big foul there. Mundumba not too happy. And Morales hits the 3 after the whistle. But 20 seconds left. AJ going to get some free throws here. Maybe they saw last game in some of the highlights he had.
It's possible, and it's also possible that would have been a frustration foul. You're down 40 points, and the Knights are still pushing. Maybe Mundumba's looking for another dunk. I wouldn't let him dunk on me either.
No. Now the official going to check in, do some good work towards the end of the game, make sure cooler heads prevail with just 20 seconds left in a 40-point basketball game. Mundumba, second free throw attempt. Front iron, no. Rebound goes to Seton. They try to push. 15 seconds. Wide open look. It's good. Padilla again. 8 seconds left. PJ Lewis, corner 3. Front rim, no. Will he get another chance? Could have passed it to Izzy at the buzzer. No good. Knights win that one by 38. It's a good job by St. Mary's to do things without Garrison, show that they can still score the basketball when they aren't at full strength. But again, my biggest takeaway, Funita Kure.
Yeah, he looked tremendous tonight, especially throughout his run in the first quarter. Didn't look tired either, which is something to key in on. But we want to thank all of our sponsors, V's Barbershop, Cunningham Aviation, and the Arizona Leadership Foundation. And stay tuned because Lindsay Zinti will have a post-game interview with our player of the game, coming courtesy of our 3 sponsors. So once we locate the player of the game, he will come and join Lindsay up here. So stay tuned for that interview.
Chris, 2 games to go on the regular season. Any things that St. Mary's should really focus on down the stretch to finish things up, especially region play, hold on to that top 2 seed, and continue winning ways onto a repeat?
Well, sometimes the defense lapses, if you know what I mean. It comes in the second or third quarter, kind of when the Knights are kind of turning on the Jets, and you can just see they want to get out and run and score the ball and dunk it. But at some points, you just have to make sure that you put the game away. So these last 2 away games, I want to see St. Mary's just completely dominate the games, because once it gets to playoffs, you can't afford any of those defensive lapses that they have had over the past couple weeks.
Still waiting to get a post-game interview. I believe we're going to get Jeremiah Cherry set up here, and maybe Funade or Seydou Tambora as well. We'll be back in a moment with Lindsay.
All right, I'm here with Bear. Bear, how important has it been for you guys to get on top early in these games?
It's mostly important because we try and get the younger guys in so that they could get prepared for playoffs and get ready for next year. So we just try and get them prepared so we could get up and get them in the game faster.
I want to ask you about your teammates. Julian Morales, how good was it to see him play in tonight's game for the first time all season?
I thought it was amazing because he's always he was so excited to play. Like he just always tells me like, yeah, I'm trying to play. Like I can't wait to play. So it was exciting to see him score his first points.
And Styles, in the last game, he was incredible on assists, setting a record for one game. I mean, how does that play into setting the tone for playoffs as a team?
It just gets us prepared. So because let me think. Because we just need to be a team, so it gets us prepared so that we can just play as a team and get these wins quicker and easier.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Bear.
No problem.
That was good, Bear.
Chris, alongside Chris Ferendorf, I'm Alex Coyle. Just kind of recapping this one, St. Mary's final regular season home game here at Bull Gymnasium. Yeah. Another convincing victory, but it was a complete game, started with those bigs, and they started with 3 bigs in the lineup.
It really did. It started with the big play, with Funade Decore entering the starting lineup once again for the third, going back to Milton in Georgia. It's just an unbelievable look on both ends of the floor when you've got 3 guys above 6'8", it helps so much with rebounding. It helps so much with defense, and it's just impossible to stop. I mentioned with 4A competition, there's not going to be a team in playoffs that's going to match up size-wise with this Knights team.
Now, we just heard from Jeremiah Cherry with Lindsay, and she asked him about Styles Phipps, what he can bring when he's not just scoring the basketball, and Bear said it helps us be a team. Styles, of course, scoring. It's great that he can have that part of it, but when he's assisting the ball, everything is open. There's so many weapons for this squad.
Well, yeah, he usually starts off most games getting his easy layups, penetrating, and then he works the ball around as well. Yeah. He's really meticulous with how he runs an offense, and I think that's been instrumental for the St. Mary's Knights team in the sense that when Styles wants to score, he can. Yeah. But also, when he wants to get his teammates involved, that's when this Knights team is running at their best.
St. Mary's gets another win. We'll cap off the 2021-2022 home slate for the regular season here at Bull Gymnasium. Playoff games coming, of course, but tomorrow Chris and I will be back at it with the Knights for another region matchup. That's at 7 o'clock, a road game right here on We're SM Hoops YouTube Live. Chris Ferendorf and myself will be there. Until then, we say so long. Again, Lindsay Zinti, thank you for your sideline work. Chris Ferendorf, I'm Alex Coyle. We'll see you tomorrow.